So as we all know, the Gervonta Davis Lamont Roach fight was last night. One stellar card. I enjoyed it. Mashallah, I was able to get floor seats there. Me and my wife Deja, and it was like it was an immaculate event. So like it was definitely a good job. I'm not gonna cover too much of the fights on here. I'm really specifically here to talk about the Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach fight. But Sandor Martin and Puello, that was a really good fight. I do think Sandor Martin won. Gary Antonio Russell. I'm sorry, Antoine. I say Antonio. I'm so sorry. Gary Antoine. That was Antoine who fought last night. Antoine. Oh my God. I'm talking about. And shout out to Rayo because Rayo, his chin is just gorgeous. But I will say, when Antoine made that adjustment, on that shell, the problem was that at Rayo he needed to come out of that shell. I mean he didn't, but that fight was fight of the night. Well, probably fight of the night, right? It probably was fight of the night. It was a crazy joint. I think the Tank Lamont Roach fight was controversy of the night, and it was a good rumble because they was bumping. But yeah, Gary Antoine Russell, he did his big one. He really did his big one. And I'll be remiss to not mention my brother Julian. He also did his thing, and I'm proud of him. We didn't come away with the win last night, but I love you, bro, and it is what it is. Oh well, on to the next. I'm still proud of you, and I still love you, dog. It is what it is. That's my brother for Get Boxing. But now on to the Gervonta Davis fight. Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach fight. It's so many different things to cover in this topic. It don't make no sense. One, I want to talk about something quickly that people need to keep in mind. And currently, right now, I'm still in New York, like 10 minutes from the Barclays right now. Shout out to True by Hilton because they provided us a room. Me and Deja, they provided us Deja Leah. They provided us a room for us to be able to even see this fight. So shout out to True by Hilton. The fight was a controversial fight, and it was a spectacular fight. But with that being said, there's some things that do need to be discussed, and we're going to talk about the knockdown in a minute. But let's just start off with this. Watching a fight on television and watching a fight in person are two different things. They are not the same experience whatsoever at all. They're not the same experience. There's unwritten rules and there's unwritten laws in boxing that also need to be discussed. The first round. At the end of the first two rounds, I had it 1-1. In the first round, neither of them really did anything significant. But there's an unwritten rule in boxing. But also, I do think Tank did literally this much more to get the first round. Whatever. If you gave the first round to Lamont, okay. But whatever. I had it 1-1 at the end of two rounds. Okay. In the first round, usually that's the round that is used for a fill-out round for both fighters to get their feet wet, see what's going on, blah, blah, etc. When you are a champion, this is an unwritten rule and unspoken law of boxing that every boxer knows. When you are a champion, the first round is a whole lot of posturing from both sides. Mostly you setting groundwork, you planting little seeds, you doing things in the first round. It's a fill out round for a reason. So nobody's really doing anything significant. It's literally the first round, in my opinion, as a professional fighter, is literally us doing real time film work. Just like, all right, cool. That's the same way. All right, cool. Let me see how fast. Let me see what's this. You're doing little stuff. So a lot of posturing and a lot of traps and a lot of things that's being done in the first round. The first round is never really the most important thing in the world. We're just filling each other out. When you are in there with a world champion, it's an unwritten law in boxing that yes, the first round, if no one does anything really, if there's a lot of posturing, nothing really happens, the first round is going to go to the champion. I need y'all to understand that. That's really how it works. The first round is absolutely going to go to the champion. Yeah, the first round is going to go to the champion. Cool. I gave the second round to Lamont Roach. All right. The early rounds, it was definitely some good rounds. you know, however you made a score, the whether it was 2-2 or at the end of the fourth, it may have been 2-2. I do know for a fact I had it 2-2 at a point. Whatever. We have to discuss the middle rounds. We have to discuss the middle rounds where it was in the realm of, I want to say 5, 6, 7, or it was 6, 7, 8. One of the two. Gervonta started putting together strong combinations that can absolutely slow you down and can absolutely hurt. Shout out to Lamont, because I just want to foreshadow and say Lamont withstood the storm and he answered back in the storm, most importantly, and goddamn did he look great. That being said, the middle rounds, I do think, is a huge story of this fight that I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about. Gervonta started pulling away in the middle rounds. He did. He started pulling away in the middle rounds. Then some exchanges were had. Gervonta ended up getting caught with it was Tank through a straight right, and wow, and Lamont pulled and countered it and hurt Tank. He buzzed him. You know, and then he caught him with an uppercut coming out of there. I want to say he caught him with the shot, and then they got back in close, and I believe he threw an uppercut, and then also, you know, buzzed him a little bit. All right, whatever, cool. It's definitely a great joint. That round was like he hurt Tank, so that's a win round, because that's a clear standout round. That's a standout moment. That's a significant moment. That's enough for the judges to say Lamont Roach won this round. 100%. That was a complete and total clear joint, no questions asked. But it was middle rounds where Tank started to pull away some. And then, because it wasn't that Tank was just pull away, is that Lamont wasn't busy enough either. So it was some rounds where in the middle where Lamont really wasn't busy enough. He wasn't letting his hands go enough because Tank was countering so much, and he couldn't at first. I felt like he couldn't really get a good grasp of Tank's timing at first. So it was some of the middle rounds where Tank just started letting it go, and Lamont didn't do enough to answer. Cool. Then Lamont started putting it together. Then Lamont took one of Tank's hardest shots of the fight, and Lamont was like, "Oh, I'm here. Like, I'm still here." And he even said it in the press conference. He said, "I took his hardest shot, and I'm like, oh, I'm here. Now we rolling." Because that's how it goes in the fight. Like, you get caught with a shot, boom, and you like, "Oh, I'm still here? Oh, yeah, now we rolling. I done took the worst of it. Now we rolling." And then I feel like that gave Lamont more confidence in himself. He was already confident in himself, but that gave him more confidence in himself to say, like, "Oh yeah, now we rolling, we gonna bump, we gonna get into it." My fault, y'all, about the sunlight. Boom. We're gonna really get into it. And that's what he did. Then Lamont started rolling. Then Tank start rolling. Then they both start rolling. And then we're just like, is a couple swing rounds in here. Is it like, even early on, it was a swing round too. I want to say maybe like around 5 or 6. One of them rounds was like a swing round. But whatever the case may be, whatever. Then they start swing round, and then Lamont start winning rounds, and you can give around the Tank. They really start rolling. So it's like, all right, what you looking for? How you scoring this? What you looking for? Who's more significant? Who's doing this? That's when it really start coming down to actual judging. In the middle rounds, I was in the building, and I was sitting directly in front of some of the loudest DC people in the building. They know who they was, and we even talked, because it was love. It is what it was, whatever. But in the middle rounds, when Tank started pulling away, I don't care what you might have thought you saw or heard on TV. In the middle rounds when Tank was pulling away, I promise you, the DC section was quiet when he was pulling away, because they could clearly see, all right, Tank trying to pull away, cool. Then Lamont started putting it together. Then that's when it was like, yeah, I told y'all, yeah, Slim, yeah, I told you here, y'all know how DC people talk. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, they right. Shawty. He put Shawty, Slim, all that, they put it together. And Lamont started putting it together. Cool. It was a lot of emotionally invested people in the building. I'm not emotionally invested into this because I'm a fan of boxing before I'm a fan of a man. I'm a fan of boxing first. Then the knockdown happened. Yes, it absolutely should have been counted as a knockdown. 100%. I understand that it wasn't a delayed reaction. It wasn't this. It wasn't none of those things. It wasn't no shot. It wasn't no. It absolutely should have been counted as a knockdown. Although Tank, I used to have hair at a point in time. I used to even have locks at a point in time. I know how it is when you can get the stuff in your eyes, right down your face, in your eyes, whatever. Did it happen? Tank said it happened. Okay, it happened. You don't believe it happened. Don't believe it. It's not up to me to tell you whether it happened or not. That's none of my business. That's what he said happened. Hey, I don't really give a damn if you believe it or not. I don't give a damn if I believe it or not. I'm just telling you facts what happened. He took a knee. When he took a knee, that is a knockdown. 100% that is a knockdown. It is 110% a knockdown. That's a knockdown, no questions asked. That's a knockdown. They did not count it as a knockdown. Why they did not count it as a knockdown, I don't know. Let me move forward saying this. I'm on record multiple times saying I don't believe that there's a man alive in them lower divisions that could beat Gervonta Davis. I don't believe so. Last night, you got to look at last night, whether it was good, bad, in between, good night, bad night, on night, off night. That's like, hey, it might be some people. But I also know what it's about boxing. Boxing is what have you done for me lately. And Tank got to wear that until he get in the ring with Lamont again. And guess what Lamont got to wear? Lamont got to wear, I'm the man, until they get back in the ring again. You know, and Lamont did his thing. I definitely think the last round went to Lamont. Cool. Let's close the video out with this. If in fact you count that knockdown, I do think the knockdown gives Lamont the 1 round for a win, and I think Lamont wins off the knockdown. We can't talk about what ifs though. We can't talk about what ifs. I'm a fighter with a draw on my record. I'm 10-0, 9 knockouts, 1 draw. I can't talk about, oh, well, if this happened. No, the fact is, I got a draw. I didn't do my job. It is what it is. I can't talk about no what ifs. Nobody care about no what ifs. We talk about the truth. The truth here is, I got that draw on my record. I didn't do my job. Oh, well, that's my fault. They did not count the knockdown for whatever reason. And again, they should have. They didn't. Because they did not count the knockdown, no, it was not a robbery. It wasn't a robbery, dog. It was not a robbery. We got to stop this narrative that it was a robbery. No, it was not. It wasn't a robbery. I can absolutely see why it was a draw. I do think Lamont Roach wins this fight with that knockdown, though. I will say that. And this is coming from somebody who, yes, I'm a very big fan of Gervonta Davis. I am. Lamont Roach wins this fight if their knockdown counts. If their knockdown counts, Lamont Roach wins this fight. Again, like I said, you know, Tank got to draw on everybody. Oh yeah, I told you he's exposed. Y'all are so quick to do that type of stuff, dog. When a fighter gets a draw or a loss, Tank ain't even lose. He didn't even lose. But you get a draw or a loss, and everybody's like, yeah, I told you you was a garbage can. I told you was good. Oh, my old lady gave me the tickets. Just so y'all can see as proof I ain't capping. We were there, and if you follow me on social media, you see I ain't lying to make it. I'm like, nigga wasn't even at the fight. He wasn't at the fight. He wasn't at no floor, so he's a liar. Like, nah, we were really there. You mean, so I'm not making this up. But y'all get this narrative that people like, oh, he ain't like that because he got, dog, a loss or a draw don't even mean that you're not like that, dog. This man had the highest knockout rate in boxing, dog. Like, he was, come on, man. Stop this narrative. Lamont Roach, hats off to you. Hats off to you, Lamont Roach. I always knew that you was a great fighter and a talented fighter, but my God, I'm not going to lie. I didn't think it was going to go that way, and I'll be the first person to say that. So shout out to you, Shawty. Shout out to you, Slim. I will say, boy, you like that for real. You are like that for real. You are like that. I'll be the first one to go on record and say, I was never a Lamont Roach hater. I was never that. But did I think that it was going to go that way? No. I thought the level difference was different. And I'll be the first one to say, Lamont, I don't know you personally. I ain't got no bad blood with you or nothing like that. But I'll be the first person to say, man, yeah, you, sorry about that, fix the lighting. Yeah, you did your thing. So shout out to you, Lamont. Seriously, bro, shout out to you, dog. You did your thing. Hats off to you, dog. Word, you did your thing. Beautiful fight card last night. I can't wait for them to run it back, man. I can't wait for them to run it back. But love is love, y'all. See y'all on the other side. Peace. JYD signing out. If you like the video, hit the like, subscribe button, comment, follow me on Instagram, JYD_world. Same thing as it is here on YouTube, JYD_world. Follow me for all your boxing stuff and things and whatnot. Blah blah blah. Peace.